Warning, this video goes over topics of homophobia and religion. If you do not like any of these, click off now. Also, weirdly enough, it also contains spoilers for the show She-Ra, so I don't know, binge watch a show and come back. Love y'all. I hate people. Hello, dudes and Matthew. Today we're going to be going over a homophobe for Pride Month. Because there's no better way to celebrate a group than to hate on their haters. Segue. Today we're going to be going over a video by the gorilla tag YouTuber known as noahgtag, very original name, and he discusses why the new Pride update sucks.
The tag's a new update. They added new Pride cosmetics, new Pride things into new maps, and I'm going to be giving my opinion on it, or perspective.
Now this is a good start. He doesn't start by rambling about how gay people suck. And I was like, maybe this guy's gonna talk about the update as if it were just an actual update and not because gay people bad. And then I looked at the thumbnail to his video. So yeah, this was not gonna be reasonable in the slightest.
I just want to let you know I'm not homophobic, but I am Christian, so I have my beliefs.
I don't get what he's trying to say here. I mean, I do, but what he's saying is, oh, I'm not homophobic, but the Bible say gay bad, so I think gay bad. That's the definition of homophobia. Now, I get what he's trying to say is he doesn't go out of his way to hate on gay people. He does say, and this is a good point, he does say that gay people deserve respect, and I respect that. I respect that he views them as people, but also that is the exact definition of homophobia, is a disdain towards, a homosexual. So, you are homophobic, you just don't suck as a person.
Only because I feel like if you're born something, you should stay as something. And if you're born with one sexuality, you should stay as that sexuality.
Skip forward a bit in the video because he kind of just rambles on, but here's the thing about his point here that kind of annoys me. It's a point a lot of homophobes, and especially transphobes, make, is if you're born something, you should stay something. Which I think is dumb, because if you're born with eye problems, as myself, you just shouldn't have glasses, or contacts, or hell, even laser eye surgery. If you're born, like, I can't think of any other disabilities. ADHD, if you're born with ADHD, then you can't take medicine. You should just, lack, the stuff ADHD prevents you from doing. That makes no sense to me. If you're born a guy, but you're more comfortable as a girl, who are you hurting by being a girl? No one? Like, it's this, I don't get transphobia. It literally, sorry, my sister's being annoying. It literally doesn't hurt you in the slightest if somebody's, like, trans. Like, I get it might go against religious beliefs, but Halloween goes against religious beliefs, so should we cancel Halloween? And also, I'm understanding it probably comes from a lack of understanding, but people are born gay, people are born bisexual, people are born with their brains wired to who they like. They just had to discover it. You could go your entire life unfulfilled thinking that you're straight, but you are actually gay. Like, people aren't just born straight. Look at a rainbow and just go, dick. Yeah, just dick. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's so dumb to me.
But that's just my opinion, and there could probably be millions of people, or I wouldn't say millions, but thousands of people in my comments that are like, oh, well, you're homophobic, this isn't right. And no, I'm not being homophobic. This is just me having my beliefs in Jesus.
I was gonna bring up the point I made earlier, but I did search it up. Technically, the definition of homophobia isn't the dislike towards gay; it's dislike towards homosexual people, which are technically do different things. So technically speaking, he's not homophobic. But yeah, I'm wrong there. But that doesn't. He does bring up a point here. He doesn't bring up the point, but he made me think of a point, which is the one thing you can't argue with, because you can pretty much argue everything else about like homophobia, but how do you argue against religion? It's in the book. There's no disputing it. So how are you supposed to argue? That's like the one. It doesn't make it right, but it's the one point you can't prove wrong, and that's why it's kind of the trump card to everything, and it's annoying to say the least. But if they're willing to look past that, then you can have a reasonable argument. But most homophobic people I know are just like, oh no, it Bible, like that one book, the book, pretty popular book, favorite sci-fi novel. It actually says that gay bad, so you gay bad, which and here's the thing, homophobic people bring that up all the goddamn time. So from now on, I'm gonna be bringing in Greek mythology and Dionysus, because that motherfucker was one of the biased buys there ever was. You bring your religion in, I bring my mythology in, okay? That's how I'm gonna argue. Just like the Bible says gay bad. Dionysus says screw whoever you want. So also, message to homophobics. When having an argument with a non-homophobic, don't bring up the Bible, because some people just aren't religious. So how is that a point? Like, you can't just go to people saying, "Oh, you can't like objects because that ruins your chances of enlightenment." It's like people aren't Buddhists. So like I was having this argument with this homophobe at like in school, and he had two reasons. One of them was really fucking funny, and the other one was Bible. The first one was that it causes rectal cancer, but also protection exists, and straight relationships also cause rectal cancer. So I don't get his point there. And then I asked him his second point, and again, it was just religion. So it's the one thing you can't argue against, because they won't listen.
I get into the controversial stuff, such as why it's a very bad idea to have this update in the game, and why that affects so many people, and how this could be the end of Gorilla Tag.
Now that's quite the claim, Buckaroo. But last I checked, Gorilla Tag's player amount was this much. Last time I got on, which was like 2 minutes ago, to check, and I don't know. Call me stupid. Call me big dumb stupid dumb man if you want to. I don't care, cause that seems like quite a bit of people. So I wouldn't say the game's dying. Also, yes, it will change. It will change a lot of people, or affect a lot of people, as you word it. People of the hemisexual or bisexual or asexual, just any LGBT member now has representation. They can be prideful and show who they are or their pronouns easily. It makes more people comfortable to be themselves. And we got a super cool like fur out of it. Like the rainbow print, that's fucking awesome. You gotta admit, that's really cool. So yes, it will affect a lot of people in a positive way, and I think this is a great update. But you seem to disagree, so let's continue.
Didn't think that another Axiom noticed that children play this game, so they probably didn't notice that some parents might not want their children to be pushed into this community.
Like, okay. This might be a controversial opinion, but I think kids should be taught what the LGBT is, or at least like gay or whatever, because it's like explaining race or love or just any like concept of somebody different than them. Because if a child sees a guy holding hands with another guy, and they don't know what gay is, they're just gonna think, Mom, Mother, look, the men, they're touching tips. but but like I think it's healthy to teach a kid what that is. Like, I get that there are some things that you don't want your kids to see, and that, like, there have been disgusting pride parades where people just dress up in like BDSM shit and go out on walks and kids are there. That I hate. I don't agree with that in the slightest. But it's a rainbow flag and a white, pink, and white flag. Those are trans colors, right? In rainbow fur and a couple other cosmetics. I don't think your kid is gonna start being like, Dick? Dick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so dumb to me.
They might see the rainbows and ask their parents what they mean.
So what if a kid asks, Mother, why is the flag in Gorilla Tag rainbow? She can just lie, and she doesn't want to explain it at the time. She can just be like, it's because, it colors. Why is the other one white, pink, and blue? Also colors. It's just fun flag. Okay, goodbye, Mother. And if she does explain it, it's the simplest thing. It's the simplest thing. It's literally just, oh, some guys like guys, and some guys don't want to be guys anymore. It's like, and then if they ask further, you can either tell them, I'll tell you when you're older, like the puberty talk, or you can just sit down and explain to them why some people do what they do. And I'm not saying, oh, some guys like it up the ass. Like, I'm not saying you should tell your kids that. I'm saying you should explain to them, like, what a gay person is, or what, like, you can just tell them the baseline information they need to know about it, and it keeps them out of the dark, and they can form their own opinions on it when either they're older or now, because kids can think for themselves. So I don't get this thing of like, I don't want my kids seeing that. What did they ask me? Lie to them. You've been lying to them. The Tooth Fairy. Santa Claus is real though. I met him at a Costco once, but I just don't understand.
There are people that want to play the game and not be criticized wherever they go because they don't support the LGBTQ community.
Then don't bring it up. Like, that's a big move to just go up to somebody and be like, I personally, I'm not too fond of the gays. I'm not too fond of the snowflake variety. Like, you sound like an uncle at a Thanksgiving. Like, no. Just don't bring it up. You see a flag, look the other way. Like, it doesn't affect you the slightest. You can still tag the gorilla. I just don't get it. You don't have to bring it up. If you're doing that, you're just looking for drama at that point.
And you never know what religion people believe in.
Who gives a shit what religion you believe in? Why? Okay, let's look at that for a second. Let's look from your perspective. say I'm not Christian. I believe in a religion that supports gay or even encourages homosexuality, like I don't know, the cult of Dionysus or Greece, like Greece in general. So if I believe in Zeus instead of God with a capital G, I'm somehow less valid. Like, that's, in fact, if somebody believes in Greek mythology, which not a lot of people do anymore, but if somebody were to, or another religion that supports homosexuality or literally any sexuality, then what you're saying is Christianity is better than other religions, and you want to push it upon people. Why does that sound familiar? Why does pushing a group of a certain community onto people and their beliefs? Hmm. It makes you think.
That's what I was saying, that Gorilla Tag didn't notice. Gorilla Tag didn't notice that this update could introduce kids into the LGBTQ community.
Why are people afraid to show their kids like anything gay? Like, it's not like they're gonna see two girls kissing in a show and then start like losing their shit. Hey son, do you want to watch Shira? Father, please. Sure, sure, why not? Okay, here we go.
Which I think is kind of bad, because people that age shouldn't really be knowing about it this early.
Why shouldn't they know about it? Again, like I said earlier, I think it's better if they know about it because it makes them understand better and it prevents like them from doing anything stupid, like I don't know, like calling out a gay person or like a lesbian couple or just anything. Because the way a child is like, their knowledge is immediately guy and girl kiss. If you know they usually that's like the first thing they know. So wouldn't you think it would make it better and or easier for them to know early on that hmm, some guys also kiss other guys or girls and girls or nobody. You know, like it would help with development in my opinion if they knew that like not all relationships are just a guy and a girl because otherwise it's just causing confusion. Like do you want your kid to be confused about it when they could easily know what it is and it would help them development wise? Like I don't understand why they think, and it's not like your kids aren't gonna join the LGBT cult once they figure it out. Like just because your son has a gay friend doesn't mean that he's immediately gonna start touching tips with every guy he sees. Like I don't. It's so dumb to me.
But that's all I wanted to come out and say.
Where are you coming out of to say it? Does the place you come out of, does it perhaps hold clothes? And it's some storage? Because from what I've heard, you don't really enjoy people coming out, but just wondering for the studies, where are you coming out of? Perhaps perhaps is it one of perhaps is it one of these? I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Now, believe it or not, he's actually one of the more respectable homophobes on the internet. And in fact, I cut it out, because I do want you to go and watch his video. I do want you to hear his side of the story, because I did cut out a lot of what he said. But he does say that, like, being a Christian shouldn't be an excuse to hate on the LGBT community, which I commend him for. I commend him for it. That is a great message. I disagree with him on a lot of other points, but that is That is a good point. That, and it's not. Just because you believe in a book does not mean you should be able to hate on others. But do know, I did choose one of the more respectable people to rant about. Because, honestly, there are so many homophobes on the internet that their only reason is just, it's not natural. It, it's, like, honestly, I commend this guy for a lot of what he says. I just don't agree with him on also a lot of what he says. And don't bring any hate to him, because hate spreading isn't going to do anything. What is he going to do? You tell him he's a homophobic bastard, so, okay, what does that solve? You just called him homophobic. But, so, that's not what I want you to do. Noah, if you are watching, I hope you listen to my points. I know I joked a lot throughout the video, but I honestly do respect some of your points about, like, Christianity not being an excuse. I commend you for it. I just also think the update doesn't harm anyone. Besides homophobes, but you know. So, I don't know. I hope this changed your opinion, and if it didn't, I get views, you get a video to watch. Win-win situation here, I guess. I don't know. Adios, senoritas.